is in the news again. How dare she be absent from our public spotlight for so long?
You've been practicing, Andy Fred.
Been waiting to do this.
Who might be Steve be imitating?
Greta Thunberg.
Okay.
Greta Thunberg is strangely not doing climate active now. She's doing pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas stuff now. So, Israeli forces on Monday detained a boat that was sailing to Gaza, and Israeli Defense Force, the boat was named the Madeleine, and it says that they, using an international civilian communication system, the Israeli Navy instructed what they're calling the selfie yacht, because everybody on there is taking selfies, to change its course due to its approach toward a restricted area. Now, they say they're doing this to protest the fact that Israel is occupying it and that there's no aid being delivered. They're delivering aid. Patently false. But I want you to hear what Ms. Greta Thunberg is saying now that she has been stopped by the Israeli IDF. Cut 11.
My name is Greta Thunberg and I am from Sweden. If you see this video, we have been intercepted and kidnapped in international waters by the Israeli occupational forces or forces that support Israel. I urge all my friends, family and comrades to put pressure on the Swedish government to release me and the others as soon as possible.
She's been kidnapped, Fred.
Yes, she's been kidnapped, and I tell you, it's really interesting. By the way, they're telling people they're delivering aid. The Israelis said they may have had half a truckload of food on that ship for people in Gaza.
It's not a big ship, and Israel's been delivering tons and tons and tons a day.
Yes, the Israeli army says, quoted at least in stories this morning, as saying what they want to do with Greta and her 20 friends is sit them down in a theater and make them watch what Hamas did on October 7th, 2023 to those 1,200 Israelis who they massacred, men, women, and children, and they took 250 hostages.
We can't even tell you half the things they did.
It's cordoned off because they don't want anybody going in and delivering arms to the Hamas terrorists. So this is just theater.
It is. It's exactly what it is.
Next story.
All right. Well, one of the reporters at ABC News, I think he heard he had maybe been imbibing just a little bit and had a late night tweet, a couple of them, and he tore into Stephen Miller. This is Terry Moran, who is, you guys might know, is a political correspondent at ABC. And he was tweeting, and this is what he tweeted. He said, Stephen Miller, is an advisor to the president. He's really one of the most articulate defenders of the president's policies. So Moran tweeted out, Miller is a man who is richly endowed with a capacity for hatred. He's a world-class hater. You can just see this just by looking at him, because you can see that his hatreds are his spiritual nourishment. He eats hate. Trump is a world-class hater, but his hatred is only means to an end, and that end is his own glorification. That's his spiritual nourishment. Well, ABC said, no. This does not reflect us, and you should stop tweeting, and you're suspended.
What's the fellow's name?
Terry Moran.
He's been around a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen his reports of probably a decade or more. So.
Going back.
He's a veteran ABC News guy.
So this morning on Fox, Dana Perino said that when she was White House correspondent for George W. Bush, he was the White House correspondent back then.
Yeah.
So ABC, which is, by the way, owned by Disney, has suspended him?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised, but he just decided to go unleashed in his criticism of Stephen Miller. Again, President Trump's one of his top aides, and then Trump himself. Is it a wonder these news agencies have lost their credibility with the American people? Talking about these mainstream news, they're not mainstream anymore. People aren't watching them like they used to. Obviously, some of that can be attributed to the rise of the internet, social media. Taking where people are getting their news more than they are if they're getting news at all. A lot of Americans are ignorant of everything but TikTok.
Yep.
These news agencies of just like CNN and the Washington Post and the New York Times, they're just going so far left, and many of them have Trump derangement syndrome, like this fella does, that they can't even be objective at all anymore in their commentary.
No, they
Even if you felt like this,
Yep.
you wouldn't say it like that if you're a newsman.
if you're a newsman.
Yeah.
But this doesn't surprise me at all. When you read, view the way they cover the Trump White House, they hate Donald Trump. They hate the policies of conservative government.
Right.
That's the bottom line in all of this. They have become nothing more than lapdogs for the Democratic Party. That's the bottom line in all of this. Caroline Levitt, by the way, responded to this Moran story, cut number 9.
This is unacceptable and unhinged rhetoric coming from someone who works at a major television network. But I think this speaks to the distrust that the American public have in the legacy media. And it's why in the White House press shop and in President Trump's White House, we have made so many significant and much needed changes to press access and transparency at the White House.
Yeah. They're not going to allow the mainstream media to control the message anymore. By the way, President Trump, if you view, when he does these live events at the White House, he'll take questions from anybody, but he's not afraid to call them out right on the spot, whether it's CNN, ABC, NBC. He'll look right at the reporter, live television.
Right.
You are a terrible reporter, and you work for a terrible news agency. The worst.
All right, so you're listening to today's issues, but ABC News, they've lost a lot of folks, as have all the mainstream news media,
Yes.
because of the reasons you mentioned, Fred.
But it's costing. Here's what I don't understand. It's costing them money.
Yeah,
They're losing viewers. They're losing readers if it's a newspaper. And when you lose audience, you cannot charge as much for your commercials.
right. I know.
It doesn't make sense.
It's like self-defeating,
Yes.
All right, next story, Steve.
All right. We keep documenting the disarray within the Democrat Party, and it goes all the way to the top, at least of the Democrat Party or infrastructure. You remember that the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, which is the organization responsible for fundraising and setting priorities for elections, getting candidates and funding them, they elected 2 co-presidents. One was a guy named Ken Martin, and the other was a guy, well, he's actually the vice chair, David Hogg. If you remember that name, David Hogg is a anti-gun activist who was on campus at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, and it kind of sent him off on this path of no guns. And since then, he's branched out to just about everything radical and liberal he's embracing. So he's kind of the squad that's not in Congress, but he's in the DNC. Anyway, he has been promising to raise money to run against incumbent Democrats who he doesn't think are left-wing enough. This is the DNC that is the co-chair of the DNC that wants to raise money to unseat Democrats because he doesn't think that they're left-leaning enough. Well, we're getting a little peek inside the drama. Someone got a copy of a Zoom call, some kind of online conference that they were having. And Ken Martin, who is the other chairman, David Hogg was on the call, but you won't hear him in this particular cut. But this is the disarray that's going on within the DNC Cut 12.
I'm just quite frustrated to be in this position because what you've done, whether you like it or not, or know it or not, David, is no one knows who I am, right? I'm trying to get my sea legs underneath of me and actually develop any amount of credibility so I can go out there and raise the money and do the job I need to put ourselves in a position to win. And again, I don't think you intended this, but you essentially destroyed any chance I have to show the leadership that I need to.
Who is that?
That is a gentleman named Ken Martin. He is the chairman of the DNC, the Democrat
Yeah.
National Committee.
Feel so bad for him.
I know.
This is the great divide in the Democratic Party right now.
Yeah. Oh, between the
The liberals and the ultra liberals.
yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
or I would say between the whacked and the wackadoodles.
Yes.
They got serious problems, and I don't think the Republicans should try to help them.
No.
If you see your opponent digging a hole,
Let 'em dig.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Democrats, their brand right now is in the toilet, so to speak, and now that may turn around. I mean, you have ebbs and flows, and we've seen people say, "Well, this party's over; it'll never recover," and then they recover, and then the other party goes down. So, the American people are fickle today when it comes to Republicans and Democrats. Seems like
But the radical left in the Democratic Party right now, it's like David Hogg.
it's hurting them.
It's AOC. AOC
Yeah.
ain't going to shut up anytime soon. She's just going to go out there.
Right.
She and her friends, they are out there, and they are as radical left as possible. They honestly believe that they will take over control of the Democratic Party. They believe that their brand of politics
Yeah.
is able to defeat the Republicans right now.
But see,
Go ahead.
the people like her,
Mm.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the people on the far left in the Democrat Party, if there's any lifeblood or energy in the party, they're the ones. That's where it is,
Yes.
because that's what they view the establishment of the Democrat Party like people who are real conservatives view the establishment of the Republican Party.
Mhm.
Don't trust them, and would rather have people who are truly committed to the cause rather than people who are paying lip service to it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that they have that's what's going on with the Democrat Party right now. They're trying to figure out who is in charge, because the old guard, the establishment, they are that they see the causes that the far left represents as causes that are not acceptable to the American people and to the American voters, and it's going to cause them to lose elections. I'm just saying that's and I say if you flip that over to the Republican Party, that fight's also been going on for decades between people who really are conservatives and people who are just Republican, as they call them, rhinos in name only. So
It seems on the Republican side, the big issue though is money. Is
Yeah.
going to cut taxes, cut spending, et cetera, et cetera. On the Democrat side, it's this worldview.
oh yeah,
I mean, the radical left is all in, for instance, on biological males playing in female sports.
oh yeah.
Even though the poll from AP,
And the mainstream Democrats know that that's a loser
that's right.
for them.
That's right.
That's the same problem they also have with Israel.
Yeah.
The far left, they're against Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and but the mainstream Democrats, there's a lot of Jews
Yes.
who make up. Chuck Schumer is a Jew,
Yes.
and he's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. So there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? There's some tension there.
Yeah.
Definitely on that side. But we're just about out of time. Steve, tell our listeners if they want to get the daily news brief from you and Fred and the team, how do they do that?
Go to afn.net. You can sign up, and we will send you a daily news brief written and compiled by Jody and Billy and our
Hey, who doesn't want a news brief
I know, right?
compiled by Jody and Billy? Come on. Huh?
It's all you'll get from us, by the way. We're not sending your emails out to anybody else. All the stories we talk about here on this show, plus more.
Jody and Billy and the boys. I'm out hearing that song. Is that Willie Nelson? Who is
That
that?
would be Willie, yeah.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure.
Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We're going to be going back to the Holy Land in March of 2026. Hello, I'm Tim Wildman, President of American Family Association and American Family Radio. We've got trips planned to the Holy Land and also to Greece on a tour we call the Footsteps of Paul. Both of those are in March of 2026. You can do both, or you can do one or the other. You can find out all the information by going to wildmangroup.com, WILDMON group.com, and check out the itinerary, the cost, and everything. We're going to be going to the Jordan River, the Sea of Galilee, the holy city of Jerusalem. We're going to Bethlehem. There's just so much to see in Israel. And then in Greece, it's tracking the footsteps of St. Paul. So again, for more information on these March 2026 tours, go to wildmangroup.com, WILDMON group.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that can solve all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-788-1813.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-788-1813.
Did you know that every day, Preborn's network of clinics experiences hundreds of miracles? How? Preborn gives women with unplanned pregnancies a window into their womb through free ultrasound.